What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Forgo. Today we have the update for Professor X and Kitty Pryde, and I thought we'd talk a little bit about these characters because I do think that for a lot of players out there, they're just not really going to be that relevant for particular reasons, such as both of these characters are extremely hard to get. Kitty Pryde, unfortunately, is a biosub character, right? So you're going to have to pay that $10 to get the biosub for her, and then leveling up her uniform can also be even more expensive because you're going to have to buy another biosub to level up or buy a mega uniform ticket. And then Professor X, you can actually get this character for free in the game. It's just that extremely rare to get him. It's very, very difficult to get bios for Professor X. I mean, look at this, guys. I got 2 bios for him. You can get him from the Dimension missions, but it is so hard to come by. And I've been playing this game for literally years. I mean, there's plenty of players that are just not going to be able to get this character. He's not even in the X-Gene biosub that you can buy. He's not even in there. So pretty much going to have to buy a mega uniform ticket to level up his uniform. So these are things that are already plaguing these characters tremendously. Now, that's not to say that both of these uniforms aren't freaking cool. I think aesthetically they are awesome. I think that, there's some niche utility for them. The fact that, Kitty Pryde does have this nice leadership of 60% increased attack to mutant allies. But as I've stated in past videos, guys, mutant characters just get the shaft. We really don't get to use them very much in World Boss Legend or even in ABX and ABL. A little bit, but not a whole lot. And they might be useful maybe in some of those niche areas, but neither one of these characters are going to be PvP relevant. I can tell you that, guys. Neither one of them have a more iframe. They're not going to have the greatest survivability either. They're going to pretty much get destroyed in PvP. I mean, there's some things about Kitty that they did pretty nice, I guess. I mean, she got guaranteed dodge, guaranteed critical rate. And they gave her a tier 3. 20% heal isn't really that great. Let's face facts. She's just going to end up becoming a support more than likely. And I think a lot of players would have liked to see a little bit more for the character, especially since she's a biosub character. And then increase all attack by 40% here. That's nice. Nice frenzy buff there. And the critical rate buff. The accumulation by 1+1% is awesome. That's really, really good. And then, the summons a creature with 100% attack, defense, and 100% HP. This is nice, right? And then her tier 3, which, gives her ignore target dodge rate, increases base damage, gives her damage proc by 100%. And then, of course, the leadership that we mentioned a second ago. And her skills they're really cool. But none of them really can delay. Like, you have to let them play out a little bit, which means that, she'll be somewhat proc friendly because you can just kind of go into your skills and land the proc on the 5th skill. Pretty cool. But, like, you hit the 3rd skill, right? That's pretty cool. But you can't even cancel this thing. Like, if you let the dragon get ready to blow, boom. Once you go into another skill, you're going to cancel that 3rd skill. So you're not really going to get any residual damage from it. And this really does lead you to believe that she really is just going to be a support more than likely. Pretty cool skills. I like that. That's a nice long iframe. That's awesome. And I haven't worked out a rotation at all for them, guys. I pretty much just logged in, downloaded the update. Let's take a look at the tier 3. All right. I mean, the SFX is off, but okay. Pretty cool, right? But considering the cost of this character, and the fact that you're not going to be able to use her all that much in the game, kind of limits her value. It really does. And that's kind of the thing that hurts both of these characters. Those skills look pretty awesome, guys. I mean, as far as being a support, 60% increased attack. What was her leadership before? 55%. So you get an extra 5%. It's not really worth it, guys. It's not really worth it. If you already have this character, you could tier 3 her and have that 55%, and that would be, an extra 5%. Maybe in those clutch kills, it might come in useful to have that extra 5% attack, but I don't think it's really going to make that much of a difference, and I don't really think it's worth buying this uniform for, especially considering how difficult it is to level up the uniform, unless you're a Kitty Pryde fan, right? If you're a Kitty Pryde fan, man, go all out on this character. And then we get into Professor X, who I mentioned a second ago, guys, you can get his BIOS from the Dimension mission, but it is, guys, I've never gotten any BIOS for him, right? I got 2 BIOS. That's it. 2 BIOS for this character. And honestly, they didn't really do a whole lot for his kit. Now, he might be really strong, but decreased damage received by 20% isn't very good. That's not very high, and that kind of sucks that it's only decreased damage received by 20%. They gave him a 20% heal. It would have been so much better if they would have gave him a better heal. I mean, he's got a frenzy buff on here by 25%. That's nice. He has a damage proc on the 4 skill, and he does have the accumulation, right? And his skills are gorgeous, right? But he doesn't have any more iframe, nothing like that. And his tier 4 is just solid damage. I think this goes up to 75%. So he might end up becoming a male blast hero in ABX. That is very possible that that could happen. And maybe for some players, it's going to be worth it to tier 3 him for that, or actually take him to tier 4 for that. But for that one game where a lot of people are already using Iron Man, I don't think really investing all these tier 4 materials in a character is really going to be worth it for most players, right? And the fact that you're going to have to buy a mega uniform ticket to level up his uniform, I mean, it's just not really worth it, guys. It's just not worth it, man. They really should have threw in some deals, or they should have gave us a way to get him for free through the game. They should have gave us a way to get some bios for him. They should have put him in the Crystal Wall packs, at least in the store. So that way, you know, just like Emma Frost and Mystique, that would have been a lot better, right? I mean, it still would have been expensive, but at least then you would have had a better way of leveling him up, even though it wouldn't have been the best way. But yeah, these are things that really hurt this character, and it's kind of a shame. And they also didn't even change his leadership, which kind of sucks. It's still that 20% attack, which really isn't the greatest leadership. And his skills, excuse me, his skills are gorgeous. Like, these things are beautiful. Like, I mean, that is dope. And you can cancel his skills and get all the damage from him, guys. Like, it is sick. Look at this 5, right? And then, of course, he's always had a cool looking tier 3. Like, you see the 3rd skill here. You'll see, like, this kind of like rainbow tornado coming down. That is so cool, right? And then the 4th skill, he kind of walks forward. That is nice. And then the 5th skill, nice AoE there. Really, really beautiful. I mean, look at all this damage. He might be really strong, right? He might have some good damage for sure. Nice. And then it's tier 3, which you can actually delay and go into other skills, right? It is so beautiful. Like, his skills are gorgeous. They really are. And I think, you know, if a player's going to level his character up, it's probably going to be for that reason more than anything else, right? Or maybe he ended up becoming the male blast superhero for ABX. And I was hoping in this character, you know, especially since he's a blast male mutant, I was really hoping he was probably going to have a better survivability kit than what he has, because once you get to this really, really high stage in Mephisto against stage 95, you need a blast mutant male. And unfortunately, guys, you know, right now, Magneto's the only one that's capable of doing this, and he dies extremely easy, even at tier 4. And I really think that Professor X is going to be in the same boat. I think he's going to be, I could be wrong, but only having a decreased damage received by 20%, and there's no other supports in here that's going to give him any other decreased damage received. And the fact that he only has a 20% heal really does make me worry. I really wish they would have gave him a survivability tool on his tier 4, kind of like what they did with Black Widow. It doesn't have to be dodging, but something that would have given him some survivability, like a mind shield or something like that. I think that would have been a lot better for him, maybe a little bit more enticing, especially considering the cost of this character and really of Kitty. I mean, this is the thing that really plagues both these characters, is the cost, right? Is it worth it to buy these uniforms, which, you know, I did, I'm a content creator, but is it worth it to buy these uniforms and level them up, guys? Because both of them are going to be, especially Professor X, going to be super expensive to level up. That uniform, Kitty Pryde, I mean, you have to go the mega uniform route, or you have to buy an extra bio sub, which would be cheaper, but it's going to take you a little bit of time, but still you're going to have to spend some more money. I mean, this is really expensive, considering that you're not really even going to be able to use them that often in the game, right? I mean, obviously you can use them in story mode and dimension missions, but there's plenty of characters that already do that. And I feel like people are just going to level them up in tier 3, then really just for the requirements in story mode. I also do want to touch on something in the store, and that's these deals that they got here. So they have a Crystal Relay pack, guys. Now, I'm not advocating for anybody to spend any money at all. You guys can see I already bought the first pack. It was for $10. And altogether, it's about $90, and you're going to get over 16,000 crystals, which is about 186 crystals per dollar. It's actually a pretty damn good deal, and I might end up buying this, to be perfectly honest with you guys, because, you know, I switch around my obelisk an awful lot, especially my brilliant, because I'm trying to push World Boss Legends. But it is a decent deal. And then they have some other deals in here where they have the tier 4 super upgrade pack, $50. You're going to get 2,500 crystals. You have the second potential realization ticket, which is nice, which means when their character's already tier 3 or awakened, you can use this thing, enhance their potential already ready to go to tier 4. Right, or are taking to level 80, and then you have the books. And personally, I would never buy this, but, you know, some people, maybe they would. And then they have this one here, where you can spend $100, and you have a chance of getting these P cards. Now, for some players out there, this might be a really, really good deal. Now, this is a chance of getting them, but you're going to get one of these cards, and there's some OP cards in these things, some seriously OP cards. I mean, you're pretty much going to have 1, 2, 3, 3 P cards right off the get-go. So, I mean, like maybe a newer player, if they're trying to get their cards set up and they are spenders and they're willing to spend this amount of money, maybe it would be worth it for them. You know, for a player like me, it's obviously not worth it. I mean, you could use these cards for craft combining, but I'm not going to spend $100 just for that, just to get 2,000 crystals. Don't really think it's worth it for that reason. Then they have a tier 3 Transcendent upgrade pack. Honestly, guys, I don't really think this is worth it. Maybe for some players, but I really don't see the value in this. If this would be a, you know, like a tier 4 ticket, if this was a tier 4 mega advancement ticket, maybe I could see the value in it. Maybe, but not for tier 3s. Nah. No. And then, of course, the regular deals that we do have. So I just wanted to touch on those really, really quick. But I'll probably end up tier 3ing Professor X and tier 3ing Kitty Pryde just to show you guys the kind of damage that they can do. But even without testing them, even without playing them in World Boss Legend, I just don't think players are really going to want to have these characters because of the cost, because of the restriction, the requirements that don't allow them to be played very often in the game. But guys, let me know what you think about both these characters. Let me know if you want to see some tier 3 gameplay from either one of them. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GD+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See everybody. Take care.